Well. I mean, this game's probably halfway decent, isn't it? I mean, I know the first one is better and has an actual story and is more cinematic and did it first, so that makes it automatically better, but the sequel can't be half bad, can it? Okay, I'm f***ing lying through my teeth. This is my favourite game of all time and I'm so f***ing excited to talk about it. Let's just f***ing do this! Well, this is it. Everyone has a game they would consider head and shoulders above everything else. Yeah, sure, a game might come out and they'll think, oh my god, this is it. This is the one. This dethrones it for sure. But ultimately, they'll always come back to their old reliable. And for me, that game is Super Mario Galaxy 2. There really is just something about this game that makes it better for me. Maybe it's all the vitamins in here. I think most people come to the conclusion of their favourite game of all time based on a number of factors. Of course, most of it is the actual quality of the game, the story, the characters, the controls, and all of that stuff. But I think most of the time, there's an element of nostalgia in people's selection. Of course, to stand the test of time and stand against the quality of other games, it's gonna have to be a good f***ing game. But to fight off every other quality game that comes its way, you gotta have a bond with it. The most important factor of my childhood attachment to Galaxy 2 is that I played it before I played Galaxy 1. I know, I am a smelly loser. I don't think my parents even realised there was a Galaxy 1, they just got me the first thing they saw off the shelf. But honest to God, I think that made the experience for me. Galaxy 1 has quite a number of things on Galaxy 2, namely, the story, the characters, the story. So right from the off, Galaxy 2 is quite derivative of Galaxy 1. I mean, save files, Jesus, who do they think they are? It makes sense. Development on Galaxy 2 actually started as an expansion of Galaxy 1 because they had so many ideas for more Galaxy levels. The only problem was they had too many ideas for new Galaxy levels, so they just had to go and make one of the greatest games of all time. We open with this storybook style opening, telling us the tale of the Star Festival that only comes around every 100 years, or every whatever Nintendo feels like it is. More fake measurements. What are you going to tell me next? Minutes? We get this neat little 2D section before encountering this baby Luma. I really hope this guy's paying rent if they're going to be staying in my Hattle game. I don't like having people live rent-free in my head. Oh, come the f*** on. The Star Festival only happens every 100 years and Bowser manages to invade on both of them. This is the exact point where most people start to draw comparisons between Galaxy 1 and Galaxy 2, namely in favour of the former. The intro to Galaxy 1 was incredibly similar to 2's, what with the Star Festival, the Bowser invasion, etc, etc. But Galaxy 2 takes an almost comical approach to its intro, and that's a theme that definitely sticks throughout the rest of the game. Guess who's about to defend it? You remember how I said Galaxy 2 started development as an expansion for Galaxy 1? You don't? Do you need to see a doctor? That was like a minute ago. Galaxy 1 was intended to be this massive, grand, cinematic adventure, with Mario travelling through space to prevent the end of the universe. And Galaxy 2 was meant to be a sticky note over the top of that. So it makes sense that a game that started life as just more Galaxy levels doesn't have a deep of a story, you know? It really is just, Bowser's back for more, go stop him. It's the same with Lubba, your new sidekick slash mentor slash companion slash fat guy. He's so much more comical and funnier than Rosalina, because the story here just isn't that deep. Ultimately, I think this one comes down to personal preference. Do you prefer your Mario games to be served with a slice of harrowing lore, or do you prefer them as Mario games? When I did eventually play through Galaxy 1, I admired the direction it took with the story. It is really such a good narrative and use of characters. So to expect that from Galaxy 2 is okay. It is literally called Galaxy 2. It's okay to expect more of the story. But at the same time, I really do believe that what's here suffices, at least in my opinion. And at the end of the day, it's not like selling your gamers more Mario Galaxy levels is a really bad thing. Oh shit, wait, they put levels in this thing? Back to the story. We're thrust into the first stage of the game before we even reach our hub world, Sky Station Galaxy. Let me tell you, it does absolutely everything right for a first level. A lot of the enemies and general obstacles in Sky Station put a big emphasis on the basics of Galaxy 2's controls. Running, jumping, and spinning. You'll pick up pretty early on that you need to spin to break things. Spin to get through these warp stars, spin to defeat the boss, spin, 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 spin. Laying down the basics is what a first level should do, and Sky Station does it perfectly. But the station really excels at rewarding players who know more advanced movement techniques. Knowing how to crouch jump, long jump, wall jump really helps you traverse the first star. The section where you're instructed to follow a loom and lets you employ all sorts of tactics to make you feel like you're really good at playing this game and actually worth something in life. The first boss is dealt with pretty easily, just spin relatively near the tail, and congratulations, you've killed your first infant. How do you feel? More. And once we've collected our first power star, we're finally introduced to Lubba. His spaceship looks like a shitbox, but our shiny little star makes it look good as new. And also exactly like Mario.
think I need to go file a restraining order on this guy. Lubber explains a little more of a story to us, and by explains a little more of a story to us, I mean he starts to scrape the bottom of the barrel for it, because there wouldn't be enough story here to feed a family of 3. Bowser is trying to collect enough power stars to rule the universe, so we need to go stop him. Let's go! After exploring Starship Mario a little, I mean, it's good, but compared to the Comet Observatory...
You know what? No, I'm tired of reviewing this game with the idea that it needs to be compared to Galaxy 1 constantly. Both hub worlds succeed in their own ways. The Comet Observatory feels more grand and spectacular, but Starship Mario has more to do on it. It's like its own mega planet, its own mega level, if you will. This entire debate comes down to your own preference in a game. Do you prefer grand, cinematic, epic adventures with amazing finales, or do you prefer a simple story with tight, fun
gameplay? Let's go back to it. Our next level has Yoshi in it. That's it. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, it's a good and fun level. But it will forever be known as the Yoshi level. But that's not necessarily a bad thing. A lot of the levels in Galaxy 2, at least I feel, constantly throw gameplay mechanics at you again and again and again to make them all memorable. Fluffy Bluff Galaxy, Flip Swap Galaxy, Boulder Bowl Galaxy, Right Side Galaxy, Supermassive Galaxy, Hightail Falls Galaxy, all are basically known for one mechanic or reason, or maybe a power-up or an interesting design choice, but at their core, they're still top quality, amazing 3D platforming levels.
Okay, I might get some hate for this, and I'm sorry if you see me in a different light when I reveal this to you, but Super Mario Galaxy 2 has good level design. In fact, it has great level design. Fun level design at that. This one might be the straw that breaks the camel's back, but fuck it, I don't care anymore. I like Super Mario Galaxy 2's linear gameplay design.
Super Mario Galaxy 2 is a linear platforming game. More at 11.
They made 9 more of these? What can I buy?
This feels like a different kind of game compared to something like Super Mario 64 or Sunshine. Levels are usually around 5 or so minutes in length, at a push 7 or 8. The world map is designed to essentially be one long path to the right to reach the final boss. Most stars are designed to be completed one specific way, but again, none of this is a bad thing. Linear game design versus open world game design is a whole other debate I could honestly sink my teeth into at a later date, but there's no right or wrong when it comes to deciding which you prefer or what a game should use. But even for those who absolutely hate the linearity of Galaxy 2, I don't think it's as linear as everyone says it was.
Okay, so that sounds incredibly contradictory, but just hear me out here. While playing through Galaxy 2 again, I found myself going off the beaten path a lot more than I thought I would. Whether that be choosing to go play through Prankster Comets, beating a chimp minigame instead of a main star, or just running along a flower planet to earn a star in Supermassive Galaxy, all of these don't qualify as a linear objective. These are all side missions, or alternatively, alternate objectives. They're not the main goal, but I went off the beaten path and I earned stars for them anyways. Of course, the actual gameplay loop is designed to be linear, no getting around that. It's not like we've got big open worlds like in Super Mario 64, oh shit, wait.
Yep, if this isn't an excuse to start bouncing between levels like I'm a coked up 6-year-old, I don't know what is. Name a better transition. World 1-2 to World 6-3. Throwback Galaxy is a remade version of Wump Fortress from Super Mario 64, and practically a one-to-one recreation at that. Of course there's a few star bits and whatnot thrown around the place to make it seem more at home in Galaxy, but aside from those little things, it looks exactly like 64. To the point where I wonder if this level had a greater purpose. What if, even if just for a short amount of time, Nintendo planned a full remake of Super Mario 64 in the Galaxy engine?
Hat making time!
I mean, Galaxy 2 came out in the 25th anniversary year for Mario. What if Nintendo were working on both projects at once for the plumber's birthday, shelved the 64 remake and threw a level into Galaxy 2? Or maybe they didn't and just wanted to make a throwback level for the sake of making a throwback level.
Honestly, who knows? Nintendo are the kind of company to just shelve a big project out of nowhere that they've been working on for 5 years. Hell, it's been 6 and we still don't have a Switch Pro, and apparently they shelved one for very little reason. Whatever, I've been on the 64 Wii remake conspiracy train for too long. I just need to change it up. Damn it, I could have said switch it up.
Right Side Galaxy. I know people complain about Galaxy 2's maybe ever so slightly too linear for a 3D Mario game level design, but if any level is going to lean into it hard and have it work, it's Right Side for sure.
What can I say? The Galaxy just does it right. Okay, you're gonna have to obliterate me for that pun, aren't you?
We're immediately thrown into a pipe, that's right, you don't get a say in the matter, and then bam, 2D Galaxy. It just took me by surprise for some reason. But not as much as this top-down section, like what? And we haven't even got to the main gimmick yet, but gravity! You hit switches to flip these galaxy worlds, there's platforming, which makes you utilise both up and down gravity, and the ending hits you with a curveball of 90 and 270 degree angles. Oh, yeah, we're in World 1, we may as well talk about Fluffy Bluff Galaxy. This introduces the Cloud Flower. And yeah, Yeah, there's not really a better power-up. It just does everything right. It has a small trade-off where you can't touch water, but you can generate up to 3 clouds in midair by spinning. I don't think I can accurately describe the importance of being able to make platforms in midair. It really is just the best.
I'd say the vast majority of power-ups in Super Mario Galaxy 2 are great. Even the main scapegoat of the Spring Mushroom is actually quite good. And even discounting the Bee Mushroom from this list, because it's literally the Bee Mushroom from Galaxy 1, stuff like the Spin Drill, the Cloud Flower, the Rock Mushroom, they're all great power-ups that serve their purpose in the levels they're deployed in. But no matter how useful, how powerful, how amazing a Mario power-up can be, all of them will pale in comparison, are like pawns to Yoshi power-ups.
I know I mentioned Yoshi Star a while ago and called it just the Yoshi level. And I'm right. But Galaxy 2 does Yoshi incredibly well. Being able to use his tongue with a Wii Remote was nothing short of an amazing addition to the game. It just feels so natural to glide the pointer over 3 or so enemies and just nom 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 nom. But whichever Nintendo employee decided that giving Yoshi his own set of power-ups was a good idea deserves a medal. That was a fantastic decision. There's 3 in the game, the Dash Pepper, Blimp Fruit, and the Run to the Litter. The Dash Pepper turns Yoshi red and lets him run at the speed of sound, and also grants him the ability to run up walls. The Blimp Fruit, which has no relation to One Piece, turns Yoshi into a massive ball of air. No, I would not like to use the word inflation in this context. And the Bulberry, it turns him fucking yellow. I say the Dash Pepper is probably the most fun to use compared to the Blimp Fruit, but the Bulberry just fucking sucks. I'm sorry, it just makes him glow. It's only use cases in the 2 levels that are pitch black. This sucks. But going back to Yoshi for a minute, for some reason I always used to struggle with Bowser Jr.'s fearsome fleet, especially the boss fight. It was just hard for no reason. I genuinely don't know why I found it so tough though. You have to use Yoshi to swallow a bullet bill and hit each nipple in his robot front and back.
Well, I'm not gonna judge it. I've seen nipples in weird places. Should probably check on mine.
Then you have to jump at the right time and hit Bowser Jr.'s little pod, which is tougher, I guess? But it's still not hard. I don't know what took me so long. Shit, did I skip over World 2 and 3?
Whatever, I'll give you the highlights. Hytale Falls is the best use of Yoshi in a video game ever. If you'd like to disagree, I'll clear my schedule for a battle to the death. Shiverburn Galaxy is a good example of why the Cloud Mushroom is a good power-up, and not just a good gimmick in Fluffy Bluff Galaxy. Though I am trying to skate here, please stop wasting all my clouds, thank you. Tool Trunk's first star is okay, Tool Trunk's second star is near perfection, and Tool Trunk's Prankster Comet is literal perfection. I don't know what makes it better. I think it's the purple coins. I may have a problem. Rolling Masterpiece is a interesting use of motion controls, but I respect it for being avoidable. Supermassive Galaxy, I mean, it makes everything fucking big. It's like a primal urge. I love it. I love destroying big things. And Cosmic Hope Galaxy is one of the most relaxing Mario levels of all time. If you ever need to just chill out for a little bit, go to Cosmic Hope Galaxy. Swim around for a bit. Enjoy the sights. Enjoy the music. And enjoy freezing penguins eternally underwater to finally let off some steam.
Okay, that's enough levels, enough stars collected, let's talk about boss fights now. There are 6 worlds in the main game of Super Mario Galaxy 2, and each one has either a Bowser Jr. or Bowser fight at the end. Each have a tough, lava-based stage before either a unique boss fight or holy shit, that's actually Bowser, I'm fighting Bowser. I may only have 18 stars to my name and completed 2 worlds, but this must be the end of the game because I'm fighting Bowser boss fights. I honestly can't decide which one I prefer. I think both the Bowser and Bowser Jr. fights complement each other so well. They alternate, it's like yin and yang, one can't exist without the other.
This is one weird family tree.
Well, Bowser Jr. goes for something unique every time. Bowser has a boss fight and sticks to it. Somewhat. It's the tried and true tactic of, let's take the basics of the boss fight and just make it that tiny bit tougher, but it actually works in this context. The whole plot of the game is that Bowser is constantly collecting power stars to gain power, and there's an underlying idea that he's constantly getting stronger while we progress. So it makes sense that every one of his boss fights would be the same thing, just with an extra attack, or the same thing, just with an extra phase. This especially rings true in the final boss fight of the game, because at first glance, it just seems like World 2 and World 4 over again, just with a few more laser beams to jump over, a bit less time to send these massive boulders straight into Bowser, that sort of thing. But then you beat him and go to grab a final grand star of the game, and plot twist! Now we're stuck in probably the coolest area of the entire game, desperately fending off against undoubtedly the strongest version of Bowser we've seen so far, launching boulder after boulder at him to push him away.
Okay, never mind. There are no stakes. Bowser's dead already.
For such a genuine fake out and great twist on what was definitely becoming a formulaic boss fight, this could have used a bit more padding. But, just like that, my favourite game of all time is over. Well, I mean, there's post-game, but...
I mean, yeah, there's a World S, but to be honest with you, I'm not a big 100%er. And plus, I played through this game about 3 or 4 times already. I think I could be forgiven for putting it down after the credits rolled. I will probably go back and 100% clear Galaxy 2 at some point, but to be honest, I'm perfectly okay with putting it back on the shelf for now. Comet medals, Prankster Comets, World S, Green Stars, all of that can wait. For now. But after all that, I just can't shake this feeling that there is still one thing missing. Let's take Mario Kart Wii, for example. Mario Kart Wii let me play as me as a racer, letting me fully insert and immerse myself in that world. But Super Mario Galaxy 2, I'm just completely stuck as Mario, except when I'm not. How am I supposed to feel fully immersed in this world if I can't just play as myself? I forgot about the me profiles!
Game of the year.